There are so many different types of pitches, but the next pitch that you really want to know about is your social pitch. That's really the elevator pitch expanded to cocktail party size, if you will. So let me tell you what the social pitch consists of. Social pitch is probably 2 minutes long, and it consists of your name and what you do, your authority, so where do you get your credibility from? Again, the problem or the pain or the suffering that your services alleviate, and what your solution to that problem is. It also has your authentic why. So again, it's that, where is your passion coming from? Why are you doing what you do? And then finally, your reputation. What do your clients say about you? Now, if you were listening when I was giving my tip on testimonials, you already know testimonials are incredibly important. So ask your clients what they say about you, what they would say about you, what they would tell their brother if their brother was getting divorced, what about you. So what's your reputation? And when you put all those things together, you've got a social pitch. And we'll talk later about tips for how to deliver that. I'm often asked, how do I put together an effective pitch? There's always the short pitch, the elevator speech. We all have heard of that. The elevator pitch is basically something extremely short that provokes the listener's imagination, question. So my pitch is, I help people divorce each other without destroying their families. And I very often get back, how do you do that? That's an effective short pitch. But a longer pitch, your social pitch, consists of a total of maybe 2 minutes. You're not going to give it all at once, but you do need to memorize it so that when you're at a cocktail party, these questions will come up and you can answer them. So the pieces of a social pitch, they begin with your name, what you do. The second part is your authority. Why should I be listening to you? So authority might be, I've published a book. It might be, in my case, I've gotten an award in the Supreme Court of the United States. It might be, I've appeared on television. So give some thought to what your authority is. Maybe you graduated #1 in your class from the #1 institution that offers a degree in your subject area. Anything like that might be something about your authority. And you might have 2 pieces of authority, but be careful, don't have a long list because that can get pretty boring. Number 3, so #1 is your name, #2 is your authority. Number 3 is, what's the problem that you solve? Don't tell me about the solution yet. What's the problem? So in my case, the problem is that divorce is horrible, it's stressful, it's costly, it's expensive. It takes a lot of time. There are a lot of components to the problem. In your case, I don't know what the problem is, but you do. So what is the problem and how many components are there? Try and keep it to 3. People can't remember more than 3 or 4 items in a list. So 3 or 4 at most. And then the solution. And if you've named 3 components to the problem, then you probably also have 3 solutions to the problem. So again, 3, maybe 4 pieces to the solution. Okay, so that's name, authority, problem, solution. That's 4 components. What's number 5? It's why you do what you do. What's the passion? We all are passionate about the services that we offer, or we wouldn't be offering them, and you certainly wouldn't be paying attention to this vlog right now. So where does your passion come from? In my case, I thought I knew where the passion came from. My husband has been through a terrible divorce, but I didn't really know until I was actually at a cocktail party and I mentioned to somebody, well, when I was 7, my parents were divorced and I never saw my father again. And he looked at me and he said, oh, now I know why you're passionate about what you do. And that's when I realized, oh, that's my passion. That's where my passion comes from. And then number 6, what's your reputation like? What do your clients say about you, right? So my clients say that I get them divorced for less, with less stress. They actually walk out of their divorces and say, I learned something during my divorce process. I had one guy come out and say, I'm a better person because of how I did my divorce. So give that some thought. 6 parts to your social pitch, memorize them, and you're good to go. Social pitch is very similar to elevator pitch in the sense that you have to practice it. Practice is critical. So you start by delivering it at least 3 times a day. Just give yourself that homework 3 times a day. Teach it to your family, teach it to your staff, have your staff work on it and change it to suit their own passion. Why are they involved in your practice the way they are? You can deliver it while you're driving the car. You can deliver it while you're online at the grocery store. I delivered my social pitch one of the first times I did. I was online at Sam's Club. It was a very long line, and the gentleman in front of me was just charming, and so I gave him my social pitch, and we had this long conversation, and the next week he sent his daughter to me for divorce advice. So I know it works. You've got to watch how it lands. I've talked about this before, and this is more critical with social pitch than it is with elevator pitch. Watch how it lands, revise it, give it again, see how it lands again. You're going to change the words. What words resonate with people? What words don't seem to resonate? Don't use jargon, because jargon won't resonate with anybody except someone who's in your field. I taped mine to my bathroom mirror so I could review it every morning before I got in the car, where I gave it to the motorist in front of me who unfortunately couldn't hear me. Make it funny if you can. Deliver it to prospective clients. That's where you're going to start really working it. Deliver it to your prospective clients. I know that pitches are all about referral marketing, but give it to your clients and see how it lands. I'm always surprised when I find out that service professionals have not made the determination to use their staff in their pitching. And the reason for this is that you never get a second chance to make a good first impression. And who's making that first impression for you? It's your staff. Unless you're the only person employed in your firm or your office or your practice, it's your staff. They answer the phone, they answer the door, they seat your consults in the conference room. And so it's your staff who has to make that good first impression for you. So you need to be up on how they're answering the phone. You need to make sure that you know how they're answering the door. You need to know how they're welcoming people into your offices. I take my staff, and once a month, we all sit down and we go over the rules. I have an outline of how I want them to answer the phone. And I, every once in a while, will monitor a phone call so that I can hear how they're doing on the phone. And they know this, and it's not Big Brother watching them. It's Big Sister making sure that they're doing the best job that they can, and they're grateful for it. I don't approach it like it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. I want to make sure that they're making the best first impression they can. My staff, when they welcome someone new into the office, they give them the office tour. I have them walk the person around my office, introduce them to anyone who's working that day, and show them where the kitchen is, show them where the bathrooms are, and show them what's in the refrigerator. We always have water and various sodas available and snacks on the kitchen counter, and make sure that they know that these are the snacks for people, and they probably don't want these snacks over here because those are for the dog. But we make them welcome in such a way that they feel comfortable coming to my office. This is a way that we increase the retention of clients and make sure that our clients are happy with the services they get. So make sure that you include your staff in your pitching. Make sure they understand your brand and your passion, and that they too are passionate about the work that they are doing, so that they make a good first impression for you. So we're still talking about social pitches. Social pitches are critical. And so while you may not want to talk about this, I do want to talk about pitching errors. What are the pitching errors when it comes to social pitches? Well, Obviously, pitching at the wrong time or in the wrong place. You don't want to give your social pitch at a funeral unless it's a celebration of life and someone wants to know. Someone asks the right question and they actually are listening to you. So be careful. People are distracted. Don't give your social pitch. If it feels inappropriate, don't give your social pitch. Don't give your social pitch before you've taken the time to establish rapport with the person you're talking to. And by the way, when you practice your social pitch, practice it backwards and forwards, inside and out, because you won't give it in order every time. You need to understand and know each piece of it separately, because people will ask you questions, and they'll ask you the questions that you already have the answers to because you've been practicing your social pitch. One of the don'ts is not pitching enough. You need to pitch often. Forgetting to include a call to action. That's the one thing that we are all guilty of. I often forget to include a call to action. So write down your call to action, include it in your social pitch, and at least that way, if you forget it, it's shame on you, not shame on Joryn. I've mentioned before that the social pitch is really about referral networking. We use the social pitch with our clients as well, but you got to get the clients in the room first, and referral networking is one way to do that. So after you've memorized your social pitch and you've honed it and you've got it pretty perfect, then you're going to start looking around and trying to figure out who you're going to deliver it to, aside from those people online at the Sam's Club. So you're going to attend events. You're going to go out of your way to attend events that you might otherwise not have attended because you really didn't want to take that hour out of your day to go to a cocktail party. But now it makes more sense because you have a purpose. You're going to be pitching collaborative divorce services, and you're going to be educating people in the room that this process actually exists for people to have a stress-free or at least stress-less divorce. And then when you meet people at these events, you're going to follow up. Always follow up. Send them a card. Send them a thank you note. Send them an invitation to lunch. Have your staff call and schedule something, a coffee or a glass of wine. If you have a book, send them a copy of your book. Better still, schedule lunch, take a copy of your book with you and give it to them at the lunch. So you're going to follow up. Following up is critical, and that's tip number 11.